Thank you for the great job you've done. Thank you for the great job you are doing. Thank you for the part that you've all played in raising the performance of JS, in serving our customers better, in making us world leaders in our great trade. We've come a long way from Drury Lane, but thanks to you, we've kept to the ideals that were established in 1869. And thanks to you, we will go on to new and greater success in the years ahead. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Roy Shepherd and I want to welcome you to the second edition of Retail Review, the news magazine programme for all members of JS Retail Management. Retail Review aims to bring you all the latest news on working practices and legislation. And if you feel the urge to record Coronation Street or EastEnders, we suggest you use one of these, because it's worth holding on to your copies of Retail Review. We're bringing you the kind of news you may well wish to refer back to. In fact, let's begin by looking back on the main topic from the last issue, health and safety. Here we are in 1993, and believe it or not, on the 1st of January, all 6 EC directives on health and safety did come into effect right on cue. Among other things, the directives called for comprehensive accident reporting. The captain's log here at the new Mere Green store is looking good so far. But the time has come when it really makes sense to record accidents onto a central computer. And Rodney Parkinson of Retail Logistics is leading a working party to determine the best method of recording customer and staff accidents across the whole group. The EC directives also stipulate that there should be clear company policy on any operation that could have health or safety implications. To that end, generic manual handling and personal protective equipment risk assessments have been carried out for all the operations that take place within a JS store. The Retail Health and Safety Initiative is now being coordinated by Senior Store Manager David Mellows-Facer and Deputy Manager Diana Watson, both of whom are on short-term secondment to branch operations at Blackfriars. They'll be presenting their conclusions to you in due course, which will create a consistent policy across all the stores. And now, I think it's safe to say we can share the story of a West Midlands branch of Asda. Don't worry, it has a happy ending. Late in 1992, a Retail Review cameraman on a covert operation to Sutton Coldfield managed to obtain this sensational film of an ordinary branch of Asda. Or was the branch so ordinary? For just a few weeks later, the situation had changed completely. The signs, they were changing. Taking the Asda A-frame out and putting this here in just 7 weeks was not only a good way of raising local property values, it was a major feat of engineering. David Smith, you've achieved an amazing transformation. What were your objectives?
Well, there were 2 main objectives, really. One was to turn the Asda building into a JS store, and secondly, to turn the Asda workforce into a JS staff in just 7 weeks.
How did you do that?
Well, the first thing we done as regards the building was to lower the ceiling height, installed new improved lighting, which give us a brighter, more warming environment. We then stripped out the sales area completely, refitting with entirely new gondolas, new refrigerated cabinets, and putting in a new delicatessen and bakery counter. Of course, we removed the traditional Asda A-frame from above the entrance of the store. We were able to remove a big retaining wall and pillar that was used to divide the produce and entrance from the rest of the store. And in so doing, we were able to open up the front of the store and therefore making it much more inviting for the customer.
You said there were two objectives. What about the people? How did you turn Asda staff into JS people?
Well, that was quite a task in itself, a big logistics exercise. We had to train 233 Asda staff into the JS way. Now, this was done. We transported them out to our supporting stores. We provided in-store instructors. We then give them intensive training. And what we were doing really was giving them new skills to meet our own manning requirements.
How on earth were you able to achieve all of that in just 7 weeks?
Well, I think it was the enormous effort that everybody made that was involved in this opening. It really was a major achievement.
Well, congratulations are certainly due to the quick change artists in Sutton Coldfield, where, as the saying goes, their loss is our gain. Last year, the management appraisal system was itself appraised and came out of its review with 4 new targets. First, to improve the contribution that each member of management makes to the business and to improve their performance so they can achieve that contribution. Where training needs exist, these will be responded to and career aspirations will be supported. These are noble aims for any appraisal system, making it much more than just a basis for allocating pay reviews. How will it work in practice? The appraisal process takes place in 2 stages. The first stage takes place in January and February, where, as you'll be aware, performance is reviewed against your targets. The objective here is to identify your achievements and assess the problems that you've been facing. This takes place during a discussion between you and your manager. The emphasis has to be on openness and honesty. Soon afterwards, everyone receives their rating, which provides the basis for the March salary review. That takes us up to the second stage of the appraisal process, which is just as important because it sets out meaningful targets, mutually agreed between yourself and your manager for the year to come. There'll be no more than 6 of these targets because they will challenge you. They are, however, designed so that with commitment, you'll certainly be able to achieve them. As I said, these targets are meaningful. They'll be directly related to your store's business objectives. So, when your performance is reviewed in the following year, you'll be able to get a clear picture of your contribution to your store. Your manager will also be wanting to discuss your career aspirations and the opportunities that you'll need to achieve them. Targets are not just set and then left for the year. Development and training to achieve your targets is an important part of the appraisal process. This support package may include training courses, project work, coaching, job swaps, secondments, and visits to other locations. It's also important for managers to continue assessing their people throughout the year, to build up an accurate picture of their people's progress. That all adds up to an important new approach to appraisal. Later in the programme, Colin Harvey will be talking about the major benefits that he expects to see coming out of the new appraisal process. JS has already won the Investors in People Award, and these appraisals are the latest step in the company's commitment to its people. There are high expectations that as the year progresses, the new system will be getting top ratings from all concerned. Welcome to the JS store in Camden, which just for today has a brand new department. the Effective Working Practice Department. Its shelves are brimming with tips and pointers on how you can increase the efficiency of your store. Perhaps you're wondering why I'm walking like this. I'm in training for the L-shaped walkathon. Is there one being held in your store? No, it's not a charity event. Nobody at all benefits from the hundreds of L-shaped walkathons that are taking place even now in stores